Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Texte's another podcast. Today we are joined by someone very special who is doing such an amazing job at such a young age. We are going to talk about how she is spending her quarantine life and how she started her entrepreneurial journey. Thank you so much, Alexa, for sparing out time from your busy schedule for this podcast. It's really great to have you.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me.
So, by the way, you are a woman in engineering, but you originally wanted to become a doctor. Is this true, first of all?
Yes, at a young age, I wanted to become a doctor because of my mother, and I was interested in medical stuff, and I thought it would be great. And I also wanted to help people, and usually doctors help people, but it turned out really quickly that I can stand blood, and and yes, that's not a good thing when you want to be a doctor.
So,
So
by the way, when you decided that you want to become an engineer,
I don't really remember, but it was also at a very young age, like 11 or 12, maybe.
wow. So, by the way, you started your company when you were in high school. Prior to that, what is your story behind? Can you tell us a little bit about your story that you're founder of such an amazing company? How this company came into being? What was the inspiration behind? Can you please share your story with the audience?
As I mentioned, I wanted to be a doctor because I wanted to help people, and I was finding other ways to help people. So that's when I decided to learn engineering. And at high school, when I was 17 years old, uh, I started my own research at Pázmány Péter Catholic University, and I was working on a project where we were making prosthetic hands. And
Wow.
after, after high school, I started to learn engineering here at the University of Győr, and that was when I thought I could doing more than just the research, and I yeah, I was thinking, let's do and make a startup. Why not? And yes, that's when it started.
So you are into engineering, by the way. When it comes to your story, it sounds like you have such a strong social impact mission. So can you share a mission of your company with us?
Yes, at Low-cost Robotics, we are developing 3D printed, cheap, designable, and also functional prosthetic hands for children between the ages of 6 and 16. And our mission is to teach the children how to use a prosthetic. So when they later want to buy a very high-tech and special bionic arm, they can use it easier. So yes, that's our mission. And we also want to build a bridge between children who need to wear prosthetics and children who don't need, by making a DIY kit for children who don't need prosthetics. So everybody can wear a superhero arm and they can play together.
Wow. Wow, I think it's such a huge social cause, and your mission has such a strong social impact. It's really great, by the way, and everyone needs to learn from your story that you are kind of person who believes in giving back to the society, and we all need to think like that, being an entrepreneurs.
Thank
So
you.
there is one more thing that you were among the finalists of Social Impact Award program in 2019. It must be a great honor. What was that award all about, and how helpful that program was in your entrepreneurial journey? How much part that program played during your entrepreneurial journey? Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't also just finalists. We won the jury award, and
Wow. I
that's,
didn't knew about that. It's really great. It
thank you.
must be such a huge honor. Yeah.
Yes, yes, it was, and I think Social Impact Award was the biggest kick in our startup, because when they called us and told us that we are in the 8 finalists, I was like, wow, they are thinking that we are making a good thing, and it can really work. And actually, it was. Uh, yeah, it was really helpful, because we were on a mentoring program. We have an amazing mentor uh, who is helping us now. His name is Pa Molnar, and he's really a nice guy. And yes, we were like, we are engineering students, we don't know anything about business, and there were a lot of businessmen and businesswomen who could help us. And yeah, it was the biggest problem that we couldn't think like businessmen and businesswomen, because we were thinking like engineers. And at this mentoring program, they helped us to think like to think a bit of business and not just engineering. So yes, it helped us really a lot, because we could make our business model, uh, and we could make our marketing and sales. And yes, now we are knowing a bit of business, but not that much, because we are learning engineering. So it was really, really helpful. And yes, there were also amazing projects and amazing people, and it was really, really, really good to see that people want to make and change our world and make something great. And wow, I love that feeling.
Wow, I think this is something which is really great. Like you said, it's 10% right that being an engineer, it's really hard to learn about. Like you people normally don't know about the business side, like how you are gonna make sales, how business models are gonna work. There are plenty of things involved. So I think these kind of programs help a lot of entrepreneurs, specifically when it comes to the budding entrepreneurs and in when someone is starting a project from scratch. So you said whatever you said, I think it's 10% right. By the way, there is one more thing which I want to ask, that you are also a technical trainer. You teach children about engineering. Can you please
Yes.
share about that? That how that came, like how you started that? What's the story behind this?
Yes, I'm a trainer at Mobility Gear, which is a very great place where children can learn a lot of great things, such as 3D modeling or 3D printing, or they can make physical and chemical experiments. And they are making after school sessions. And that's really great. And the story behind of this is that when I started the university made an article about me, and somebody from a mobility gear asked me if I wanna help them and make a 3D printing class, and I said, hell yes. That's a great thing. So I had several classes. The first was when we were making Mars rovers from little bits,
Wow.
and we also made 3D printed parts to the rovers. And after yeah, I had also class, and I want to teach now, but this coronavirus crisis, uh, we can't do that, and that's really sad. uh, but our latest class was 3D printing and 3D modeling, where we made cute little things, and we were creating objects in Tinkercad. And I was really excited, because that's what I do. Because I'm working as an engineering intern, and That's exactly what I do, but not really, because I don't make cute little things like hedgehog toothpick holder or something.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's so amazing.
that was the latest project with the kids, uh, and I thought this is the perfect side job for me. Uh, so yes, it was really great, and I'm looking forward to continue it.
Wow, by the way, this is something which is really great. Like you are, first of all, you are working in such a high social impact, you are doing such a high social impact project. Then you are also training kids. And for kids, it's really necessary and it's really important for their upbringing that they are learning about engineering since childhood. So they are gonna be the great engineer. By the way, hats off to you that at such a young age, you are doing such an amazing job and you are doing so many things. By the way, when it comes to your passion, how you keep your passion alive, how you keep your energy, like, yeah.
Oh, that's a great question. How I keep my energy? I drink a lot of energy drinks and coffee. So, but
No, when it comes to the entrepreneurial instinct, yeah.
I don't really know. I don't know. It's just this feeling that it's just so great that I want to help others and make this world a better place. And
Wow.
I'm not sick of this, and I don't want to give it up, never ever, because if we don't make anything, this world never is gonna change. And yes.
I think this is something which is really great that what you just said that if you are not going to, if we people are not going to take practical steps, this world is never going to change. We all have to work to make this world a better place. And I think you are one of the prime examples because you are
Thank you.
doing all of these things at such a young age. You are such an inspiration.
Thank you.
By the way, can you share a little bit about impact of COVID on your business? Then later on, we are going to talk about your personal life and positives and negatives. But right now, is there any impact? What's the impact of COVID on your business?
Whew, as we are working from home because we are working most of our computers, modeling and doing our stuff. And our IT specialist was also working from home before coronavirus and after coronavirus. So for our business, it I don't know. It doesn't had any negative impact. Maybe that we couldn't.
When it comes to the sales side, even that's not impacted, or the sales
Uh,
side is a little impacted.
Not really, because we are not on the market yet. Because we are developing, and yes, our production is at the moment in the very first stage. We are making our model, and after we are going to test it, and I think the whole product which we want to give to people will be finished in 2 years, because with medical stuff you can't rush, and you have to make it the most perfect, because if it's not 100% perfect, it's not great. And that's why we are so slow, but I think it works, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, when it comes to product like yours, the thing which you are making is something you're 100% right that it needs to be 100% perfect. Other than that, it's not gonna work. And by the way, every single entrepreneur journey needs a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, and I think you're doing a great job. And you also believe in that you're never gonna quit. I think this is something which is really great, and other budding
Thanks.
entrepreneurs need to learn from your story. By the way, there is one more thing that you also work with Audi. Can you share your experience with them and from how much time you're working for Audi?
Ooh, that's a really complicated story because I'm not a normal engineering intern. I'm a dual engineering intern, which means I'm working from the very first semester of the university for Audi, and I think this is one of the biggest opportunities in my life because I'm learning a lot of great and new things, and I'm working really I'm working really hard, uh, 40 hours per week.
Wow.
But I think it's really a once in a lifetime opportunity, because I think that's my other dream to work where I work, because at the moment I'm working with industrial robots, and I love them. So yeah, that's a dream job for me.
Wow, I think working with such a big name, Audi is such a big name across the globe, and working with that kind of company is a huge experience, and
Yes, yes.
definitely every single thing pays off later in life. By the way, when it comes to COVID, the world is talking about Corona nowadays. I know that when it comes to Hungary, things are back to normal. You people are back. You people are going back to work. But what was the positive and negative impact of COVID on your personal life?
I'm gonna start with the positive things because there were a lot. First of all, this going to online was the biggest and the best thing, because there were a lot of events such as startup safari and meetings and all, and I could attend that startup safari without leaving my couch, and that was a great thing because from here to Budapest, I have to uh, travel more than an hour, and that's so great, and this was also great, and we learned that we can make everything, we can solve everything via email, instead of sitting in a meeting room for an hour and thinking about unnecessary things, and it was also great, and I had time, uh, not in exam period. Before exam period, I had a lot more time, and I started to work out, and I had more time with my cats at home.
Wow.
So that was really really nice, and I also started to bake because I had time to bake, and I love baking.
So prior to that, you were not baking. Like you started this, you started spending more time when it comes to COVID.
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
So wow, can you share a little bit? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't want to say anything.
Yeah. So is there anything negative about COVID? Like,
Yes, I thought that this online thing was great, but it wasn't also great because we had problems with Zoom or Skype, and we started our meeting. Can you hear me? No, I can't hear you, but I can
so
hear you. So that was problematic.
first of all, you have to spend some time to think everything is working, everything is fine and in place.
Yes, and also that we didn't had any classes at university, and I had to push myself to sit down and learn, because uh, it's really really hard to sit down and learn everything, because when you have classes, you are attending on classes, you are paying attention, you are writing and everything, and there was nothing. It was way harder, so I didn't like it. And the most negative part of this coronavirus thing was that I haven't seen my boyfriend for 2 months.
Oh.
It's really sad.
And by the way, when it comes to in general that we people are unable to step out to meet our friends for party and all that. So yeah, that's a little depressing, but there are a lot of positive things as you just mentioned, that you can save your time, you can spend more time, that it's time to think about yourself, that which mistakes you did in the past, and you can fix them in future, because we are heading towards a new era, and that era should be better than before, and we have the control over it, so we can do that. During this time we can plan our future and all that.
Yes, exactly.
So by the way, there is one more thing, that everyone had plans prior to COVID, prior to this pandemic, that this is what I'm gonna do in 2020, but everything has been changed. Can you share a little bit about your plans, which you were unable to complete?
Uh, Personally, or about my business?
Both, like you can share both the experiences, like people were supposed to go to a lot of conferences, there were a lot of pre-planned meetings, leisure trips, like someone wanted to travel to like different places in Europe, US. So everything has changed and no one was able to travel.
Yeah, good question, but I had three, yes, three meetups, and it was all cancelled, and they didn't go to the online era, and that was really bad. And also, yes, traveling. Uh, I wanted to go with my boyfriend to Germany, uh, but now we are staying home. Uh, yes, but I don't think it's a bad thing, because we can uh, spare some money and go for holiday in Hungary. Hungary is also a beautiful place, just as Germany, so I don't think it's really a big problem. And actually, I'm happy to be alive, because so I see that a lot of people had died from this virus, and
Yeah.
I should be really thankful that I'm I'm healthy and I'm alive. So I don't think complaining about traveling is a real thing. So
Yeah, I think this is something that everyone, even when it comes to me, that I'm really saddened about the deaths which happened across the globe. Definitely, it's a huge loss. It's a great loss.
yes,
But
it is.
yeah, but on the other hand, we need to work on the positive side, and we need to stay optimistic, and we need to work on spreading positivity. So there are a lot of people who are feeling depressed during this time. By the way, as you just mentioned, that you are making your time productive by doing different things, like you are baking more, you are giving time to you're spending time and you're working on yourself, like you are doing plenty of things. So things have been changed. The post-COVID we used to live was a different thing, and now the pre-COVID was a different thing, and the post-COVID will be a bit different. By the way, when it comes to the new normal, like with the place where you live in Hungary, what is the new normal for that place? Like people are wearing masks, and when you are stepping outside, how it's going?
Hungarian people are like to rebel, and when I go to the work every morning, uh, I'm going with the bus. I think my friend and I am the only one who are wearing mask, and I think that's not so great, because we can see this virus, because it's a virus, and you can be great and you could be feeling great, but you don't know if you are infected, and I think it's irresponsible to refuse to wear mask. even though there are everywhere signs that you have to wear that. And I think it's a big shame. It's not such a big thing like you have to carry something heavy every day. It's just a mask and it's nothing. So, and
Yeah.
I think if surgeons or doctors can wear that for, I don't know how much they are working, but I think they are working much more than usual, and they can wear it all day, then we can do it also. So yes. But in my workplace there are requirements, for example, that there are places where only one people can be at the same time, or two or three, and yes, we are not rebels at Audi.
So you people have the proper protocols and you have to follow them. So by the way, as you just mentioned that when it comes to masks, like it's not a difficult thing to wear a mask. Like whenever you are stepping out, you can wear a mask. It's like it's gonna protect others if you are the carrier, if you are
Yes,
carrying the COVID-19, if you are infected with that, you're not gonna spread it to others. So it's gonna, yeah,
exactly.
I think, yeah, we need to follow the WHO protocols, the local protocols the government have. The all of these protocols are to save us. Like it's better for all of us if we are gonna follow these protocols. So
Exactly.
by the way, yeah. So by the way, can you please tell us that what is that place which you like the most in Hungary, and you visited that place before and you really want to visit that again, and you also suggest others to visit that place when it comes to tourism? Yeah.
It's a good question because I have several favorite spots in Hungary, but I think I love Visegrad the most. Uh, and yes, Visegrad, exactly. I would also say Budapest, but Budapest is really beautiful, but it's too much. It's too
Crowded.
crowded, and I don't like crowded cities. But it's really beautiful. But I wouldn't recommend it. But Visegrad, yes, that's really.
Visegrad. What is that thing which you like about that place? The mountains, the greenery. What's that? What's that thing? The local culture.
Everything, the view, uh, and the, it's next to the Danube, and from the highest place of Visegrad, or Dömös, you can see the whole Danube bend, and it's
Wow.
beautiful.
So because of that view and all that, overall, in general, you like that place. By the way,
Yes,
what
yes.
is your last advice for the audience and specifically for the young people, specifically for kids who want to be in engineering? What's your advice for them?
Good question. I would advise them to uh, not to sleep in
Like
physics.
specifically when it comes to in terms of COVID-19, how they can make their time productive and they can learn about
Oh,
engineering during these days.
uh, I would recommend to watch YouTube videos about 3D modeling or 3D printing. And we are living in a time where you can buy your 3D printer and build it at home. So uh, yes, and it's really cheap. And if you watch YouTube tutorials about how to create something or how to print something, it would be really great. And you can learn a lot of new things from YouTube. And in the age of the internet, everything is you can reach everything, and you can find anything on the internet. Just Google it and go and work. That's it.
By the way, yeah, I think this is a great message that we need to focus on children when it comes to children. We need to like they can have those kits, they can build different kinds of things with those kits. And when it comes to 3D printers, they are easily available. You are 100% right, and people can have those kits at their home. That's gonna help those kids think more creatively. It's gonna increase the creativity in children. So
Ex-
by the way, it's a 30-minute podcast, and it's almost 30 minutes. Thank you so much for sparing out time for this podcast from your busy schedule. By the way, your story is really amazing. And again, I'm saying that you are a true inspiration when it comes to children who want to be in engineering, or who want to do anything in life. And
Thank you very much.
second thing which I really want to mention, that you are the one who is at such a young age, you are thinking about creating a social impact. I think this is the biggest thing. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Really.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
And for the audience, guys, we will be back with another podcast very soon. And we are gonna announce this on our social media. Okay, Allah Hafiz, bye bye. Take care, everyone.